today's topic is cloning wrong? Are you for it or against it?
Like people?
When cloning humans, animals, it's cloning.
They have cloned animals, right?
Yeah, they have. Do you think it's wrong? Do you think it's ethically wrong, or do you think it's fine? What do you think? What do you think we should? You think it should even be a thing?
Why would it be ethically wrong?
Well,
You ever seen them? What's that movie? Is it The Island? I think, where they clone rich, powerful people have clones of themselves made so they can harvest their organs when they get sick, kind of thing. Like your heart's got a bad heart, I can get a brand new heart for you right here, fits perfectly,
yeah.
kind of thing.
I mean, that sounds
Things
good.
what rich folks would do. So there's an ethical problem. And these people are raised up and don't even know that they're like spare parts for the rich and powerful.
Yeah, and for the sheep, whatever that was cloned, they said 277 of them had to die for it to actually work. So for it to actually work on humans, because the research is not fully developed yet. It's not like
Think of all the sweaters that were lost.
yeah. So just think of if you were to try to do it on humans, how many humans might die?
Okay, true. On that note, though, those humans would sign up. They are. You have to be go through some psychological tests.
They wouldn't do it if humans died.
Right.
It wouldn't even be an option.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, but people who go through medical testing sign up for it, fully knowing there's a whole lot of risks in it.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point.
And then there's a lot of the whole playing God and everything, because there's the whole unknown and everything part of it too, where it's just maybe we shouldn't do that because you don't really know.
It's like messing with time in movies. They always say it's a no-no.
Never ends well.
I know it's different, but that's the same.
Yeah.
Same.
Now the pros though, they said okay, it'd be good for okay if there was ever a shortage of food. Have
For cloning food?
Yeah. Yeah. If you were clone animals.
Now, this is my ignorance. How would cloning cows be better than just breeding cows?
We have too many cows.
Well, the thing is supposedly it could help some species from going extinct.
You could extinct.
So you could
preserve
help them
major species
or whatever. And if there's a food shortage, there are some things.
Yeah.
We could help couples who can't have a child naturally. Maybe they could get a child that way. But then there's the whole other thing of unknown of just you're creating something that's not fully developed, might be missing some crucial parts of the DNA, something that's existing and living that didn't ask to be especially made in a way that is unproven. Could be wrong.
I don't think I have a problem with cloning.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care at all either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's at the end of the day? What is the difference between taking two sets of genes from two people and making one? I mean,
yeah, but the genetic code, you don't know what they're really missing. You don't know exactly they've never done it before. How would you know?
It'd be a copy, right? Isn't that the whole thing with cloning?
Mm-hmm.
Be
Well,
a
yeah.
copy?
Didn't Barbara Walters clone her dogs?
I think I've heard of people
I said I
that,
would clone my dog.
some dog you just are
I
in
love
love with,
her.
and then
Yeah.
you dies of make an exact copy.
I said I would clone my dog. I would never, because for me personally, I think it's kind of weird and creepy, and I think we're inviting things into our world that really shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm.
We have
why
enough.
though?
Well, that's why it kind of gets
Well, I
brought up.
think-
Is it?
Why?
Yeah.
Why though? I'm not saying you're
Why? I
wrong.
just
Why,
feel
why do you
like-
think it's wrong?
I just feel like I don't know. And there's so much ethical, you're talking about the rich are going to be able to clone themselves, and then you're leaving out a whole other population. How many people are really going to be able to afford to do that? And next thing you know, that's it. So you're just going to have a planet full of rich people? I don't know.
That works, but-
Well, I'm just,
I was gonna say, where would we go then?
that's what I don't know. I just feel like it's probably inviting something. And where do you stop? And humans as a whole,
Yeah.
we're kind of greedy.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I feel like that would just set off a whole thing of different laws. Because how do you treat them? Because do they abide by the same laws as like humans? Or are
Right,
they
and
like
if that's the case,
are-
then, like we're raising them for spare parts.
right? Like
Well, that's just one example from
Yeah,
Right, I know. I'm
Like,
just saying.
yeah.
I'm just
are
saying.
we
using
are
that
we allowed
example.
to are we allowed to clone someone and use them as a slave? Like because they're not actual.
Star
Oh,
Wars.
you just have to assume that it'd be the same. Because it wouldn't just be like, we're going to clone Tyler, and the next thing you know, there's just another one fully grown.
So
Yeah,
something.
but-
So I could think of.
It would just, I think.
Right.
it would
Here's
be
just like a random
treated as
example I think of. Like, if there was enough DNA, say like Albert Einstein,
Mhm.
would you try to make 200 Albert Einsteins in the hope that that would really improve the planet, like our scientific knowledge in like 30 years from now?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. But
I
see,
don't know.
the thing is, like there's a lot of
LeBron James.
misfiring with the clonings I've heard. Like they're not always just because you have a clone. That's not guaranteed that they're going to have the same personality traits.
Nature
that they're-
versus nurture.
That they're
right?
going to have the
Yeah.
same. Like they're even going to be as
Yeah,
smart.
that's where that comes in.
They're even going to be as smart. Sometimes some of them don't even like a lot of animals. They come up like they look different. They don't look exactly the same. Like it's kind of like you don't really know what you're going to get.
There's a lot to be said of like, I think your environment versus
Mhm.
whatever your DNA actually had. But the same person in two very different circumstances,
Mhm.
they're going to come out a whole lot different.
Right. Yeah. Because like I think if you say you clone Tom Brady, does that mean the clone is going to even want to play football? Are they even going to want to do anything that
Even be able to marry Giselle.
No,
Yeah.
but then you're just answering your own question.
Or
then.
divorce.
That's not a.
If that's
if
not an
everything's
issue,
if
then
that's not
maybe-
the issue and it is,
then maybe it is ethically correct.
yeah. What's the difference if it's?
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's a lab-grown kid.
But the thing is,
Well, it's true. But
it doesn't
It's
matter.
gonna trend that way.
Well,
thing
I'm
is-
also saying this based off of my views and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't worry about the whole playing God, any of that stuff. I'm just
Mhm.
not a religious person, and I think
Mhm.
you would just have to treat as if it was another child born.
Yeah, but see, that's coming from you, who is actually a good person, and you
So
actually
what
have
if
good
it's-
like, but not everyone is like you and thinks like
Yeah,
you.
but I don't think the whole thing with
And
rich people breeding, making a whole population of spare parts. That's movie theater stuff.
I
That's
know, I was
that's
just-
movie
I was
plot.
just-
Like
yeah,
Well, you brought it up. So
Would
I
you
was
put
just
that
touching
past
on it.
like Elon Musk?
Yes.
I would put it.
I would put
past
it.
him.
I don't think people would be like, I'm just gonna start,
Mm.
making spare part. It's the same people that are like, they're drinking baby's blood to live longer.
I
Take
mean,
the tinfoil off.
there's a movie, My Sister's Keeper or something like that. My Sister's Keeper, where they had another child to hope that they could cure their first child, the daughter. They had like 3 children. There was a son, and then the second daughter had like leukemia or something. They had another kid, hoping that that baby would be a match to cure this. I know, but I'm saying, like,
Things
does that
they
happen?
can write that things that for movie plot,
But
which is
I know,
like
but-
none of
but
this
that's
stuff
the
would happen.
imagination that's
They would
there.
never do it to humans if all of these issues. If they have to kill 276 sheep to get it done get it right one time, they're not going to do that to humans. It's
I
But
hope
what
you're
if
right.
would you even have to get it that far? Because would it just be like petri dish?
I think some humans wouldn't do it to humans, but if you look at like some of our medical knowledge based off horrible, horrendous things the Nazis did, which we used to our advantage now, that was gotten from horrible things. I bet there's parts of the world that would probably use that knowledge to do stuff like
That
that.
would be okay with
Yeah, like
I'm not saying bad thing. I think some good things could
Mhm.
come from cloning too. Like I'm kind of for it now, but
I don't know. I would say there's pros and there's pros and cons to it for sure. I can see both ways. I
just don't think it'll be a thing for humans. Not for any time soon.
Well, the fact that they said the research is not even fully like developed yet. It's not even really possible. And then the unknowns are just way too high. Especially like to get into human cloning, it's just like I don't know. Why would you? It's like why would they even want to open that
the world's overpopulated as it is.
Pandora's box?
City's overpopulated. You drive
Yeah,
through a
but
few
then
states,
you got
there's an awful lot of
countries
empty space.
Why Wyoming's not
you got countries
overpopulated.
like China
Yes,
and
I
Russia
get
that
it.
don't have a youth population. Their
Mhm.
countries are going to die because they don't have enough young people.
Yeah, they're allowed to have 2 kids now.
I think they changed it to
Yeah.
the one child thing.
Yeah, because they weren't having enough
Still
children.
not having enough. Though.
Right, but whatever. Moving on. So let's take the human aspect out of it. And like the animal thing, that's whack to me. There's too many cows in our country as it is.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, but let's say not cows. Then let's say just mice, and they're testing mice for certain things.
You know how easy it is to breed mice? I don't know if we need to clone them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh,
wondering.
okay. Well, then just any other
well, I don't know.
animal that's not
Well,
the
it's
one's
my
named.
it's my ignorance. Like I don't even know.
I was like, I
a
don't
lot of
know the
animals
benefits.
what the upside is of cloning
Right.
versus
That's
letting them
what I
breed.
was
I don't really know.
confused.
I
It's my
think
ignorance.
the
I don't know.
upside would be saving species from going extinct, and
Did
to yeah.
So maybe like animals that don't breed easily or super low populated,
hmm
you could boost up the numbers.
Like pandas.
That doesn't sound
Or like-
bad.
Yeah,
Endangered
and
species.
mhm.
Dinosaurs next. It all worked out well for them.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like the idea will get ditched, so I'm gonna say no. Because
There's a lot
I
of people that
can't
are
think of the
against it. A
reason
lot
why
of
it's
people
good.
do agree that they think it's ethically wrong. There's a lot of people that like the science though and are intrigued by it. I think that's from the science perspective. I think it's cool.
Yeah, the science aspect, anything like that. I mean, life
Mhm.
in general is how it's made.
It
It's
seems
cool.
like a lot of the knowledge you'd have to iron out, like the science to iron out, be able to successfully clone a human. It seems like a lot of that knowledge would be really, really, really valuable along the way too,
Mhm.
to like help with various childbearing and birthing issues.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of that would
hmm
lend itself like as a cousin to that. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was gonna bring that up earlier. Like, people do that, like that IVF petri dish baby
Yeah.
stuff all the time. I know that's directly coming from the two
hmm
parties, but
Yeah, like if you could clone somebody, like a human well, it seems like it would be a lot easier to have a couple, like
Yeah.
with their DNA, have a child. It seems like that would be easier than trying to clone an existing thing.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's
agree.
around the whole
I'm
ethical.
also not a geneticist, so I don't really know that
Yeah.
for a fact.
I think if there was a sure way where it
So it
could
makes you
work
be a good
and
person.
nothing, no, there was no harm to be done, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But the fact that it's so unknown, they don't even. I don't know.
Even with animals, I think that's. I don't think it's a good idea. I think humans. I think we are. I mean, yeah, we're good people standing here, but I feel like there's some bad people out there that would do some whack things.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
don't
the
really-
fact that we've already slavery has already been a thing, and probably still a thing in parts of the world, would not surprise
You
me.
know, the devil's in all of us, right? I think that it's one thing to say, oh, yeah, I wouldn't take my clone's heart because I have a heart problem, but like, say Karen had some crazy degenerative thing, like you can replace her lungs with the clone, I'd be tempted.
Yeah.
It'd be harder to say no when it's
Yeah.
someone not you. Like,
Yeah.
you
And
got a lot of years
then
left.
it sucks for that clone
Yeah, it
who's actually
does.
living.
It
And
really
then so it's
does.
like, okay, I didn't even ask to be alive, but okay, that's my heart. But I don't know. I think it's such a complicated subject. It's
A
crazy.
lot
I know.
for the future that it will come here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say it's wrong or anything. Like, I think the idea is okay, but I do think there's some problems with it for sure. All right. Does anybody else have anything?
I think that's all.
That's all you got?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we have it.